Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat 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 shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, chiri biri biri bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shalom alechem, malachei hasharim, malachei hayom. Melech מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. בואכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי היום. מלך מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. יאללה לה לה יאללה יאללה לה ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי היום. ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. זה איתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי היום. ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. יאללה לה לה יאללה יאללה לה יאללה יאללה Rabbi Kavod, you are muted if you are speaking. Well, we have a wonderful Shabbat where we have a class of students who have been working hard over 18 months. And I am so excited for them to be able to share their leadership with us this weekend. They have prepared our candle lighting. For anyone who has candles available, please go grab them. And we are going to bring in Shabbat with this video that the class created together.
Amen. Amen. So beautiful. I think if you could all hear in that blessing this commitment that each of you, each of our adult B'nai Mitzvah has made to this whole journey of saying, I want to live deeper into my Jewish heritage, my tradition, and to that very reality of mitzvah. And and that's really as we reach into Shabbat and begin to settle into Shabbat, it's we can learn how to settle into Shabbat by looking at nature around us. If we look at the sun setting over the ocean and we are noticing just the gentle waves, or we pay attention to the perfection of a flower or a tree that's the leaves are waving in the wind, we see that nature, everything around is as it is. It's perfectly radiating its essence. There's nothing that it is trying to be. A tree doesn't try to be a tree. A dog doesn't try to be a dog. It just is. It just is what it is. And for all of us, it becomes a question in our hectic world of aspiring and doing and following our schedule and reacting and responding. Who are we? What is our essence, our natural response to the world, our natural radiating? In the same way that a tree or an ocean, what is it when we're not trying to be something, when we just are? And that's really the invitation that we have this Shabbat, to be who we are in a way that's effortless, in a way that has a full breath, in a way that notices our connection with each other and with everything around us. So the mystics would sing, would come out to the field before Shabbat. This is 16th, our Shabbat service was created in the 16th century in northern Israel. And they would come out and they would look around at nature and get that inspiration for how to sing their own song in the same way that they noticed the trees and the grasses and everything else singing their song. Lechun and Ranana, let us sing.
Let us sing out to God, the maker of all.
שמור וזכור, שמור וזכור, בדיבור החג, מאיש מידו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, לשמו תפארת ולתהילה. יללי, יללי חביבי, יללי כלכלה, יללי בני שבת, בני שבת נקבל, יללי חביבי, יללי כלכלה, יללי בני שבת, בני שבת נקבל. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם לשוחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תפילה. יללי, יללי חביבי, יללי כלכלה, יללי בני שבת, בני שבת נקבל, יללי חביבי, יללי כלכלה, יללי בני שבת, בני שבת נקבל. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בורך ומיורי, שיר דברי למען אדוני, עלייך נגלה. יללי, יללי חביבי, יללי כלכלה, יללי בני שבת, בני שבת נקבל, יללי חביבי, יללי כלכלה, יללי בני שבת, בני שבת נקבל. בואי ושלום, עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצרורה, תוך אמונה עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, יללי, יללי חביבי, יללי כלכלה, יללי בני שבת, בני שבת נקבל, יללי חביבי, יללי כלכלה, יללי בני שבת, בני שבת נקבל.
Our Shabbat community can hold all of us. Some of us are here because we are feeling the memory, the connection to somebody in our lives who's passed, and we might be here for a yard site. And if your heart is heavy, or if you're feeling that love and that absence, we say to you, Hamakom Yenachem Etchem, may the Holy One comfort you. And our Shabbat space and song and community can hold you wherever you are. We transition into the main body of our service with the Chatzi Kaddish. And Kaddish means holy. And that's really, this whole prayer is just one or more different word for holiness, for God's exaltedness. And it's used as a prayer, the Kaddish prayer, even before it got used as a mourner's prayer, is meant to transition from one part of the service to the other. And it's a nice thing to remember that when we make transitions from one place to another, that we want those transitions, especially in prayer, to be one that is filled with holiness, to be able to say that this moment is different than all moments, that this moment right here has a special status, Shabbat, community, and we bring that extra presence with us in our transition with the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkada ve'yitkada shmei rabba ve'alma divra kerute ve'amlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchayedecho beit Yisrael bagala uvizman kariv ve'imeru amen yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'olam u'omaya yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitromam ve'yinaseh ve'yitadar ve'yitaleh ve'yitalal shemei dekudesha brichu le'elam min kol berchata ve'shirata tushbechata ve'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imru amen. If you're able, please rise for the Baruch Hu. Let us bless.
Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bivro mariv aravim b'chokhma poteach shirim. God of creation, who makes the evening fall from light into darkness with the setting of the sun, you unfold the heavens with brilliant moon and stars and wrap our souls with peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu
As we reach the point in our service of the Shema, I believe that our sages were not just hoping that we would just share a statement. Instead, we're inviting us to enter into an experience, a deeper experience of reality, one in which we're aware that everything from our very breath to our bodies to everything we see around us, the entire creation, that everything is experienced as an expression of the Holy One, that everything is experienced as alive and vital, and that when we say Adonai Echad, that God is one, it's that sense that everything is an expression of that one, of that oneness. Take a moment, just a moment, to tune into your experience of breath. You can close your eyes if you'd like, just for a moment. And imagine, open to the energy that is part of that breathing process, that life-giving mechanism of in and out, that we find the Holy One in our breath. Feel the air on your face, the air that surrounds you. We find the Holy One there, sustaining life on earth. In every cell, each cell in our bodies and all of our different systems, doing exactly what it needs to do, we find the divine there. In the sounds we hear around us, in our voice, my voice, and all of our voices, we find the divine there. There is no place empty of the one, Ein Od. So it's from this awareness that we're invited to enter into the Shema prayer. Our Vishamru prayer is taken from the book of Exodus, and it describes that children of Israel, that we should all guard, protect, keep Shabbat. And why? Because it goes back to the story of creation, that in 6 days God created the heavens and the earth, but on the seventh day, Vishabbat vayinafash, God rested. But the other name of vayinafash, the word is nefesh, also is another word for soul. So we could say that on the seventh day, God ensouled. And it's almost like we can look in the Torah, this prayer is a way that's asking, where do we direct our attention on Shabbat? We direct our attention to that place of soul. And that's a mysterious word, soul. I think we all could agree that when we talk about something having soul, whether it's in music, it's that it moves us. It has something authentic about it. And each one of us have something inside us that moves us, that's authentic, that's real, that's our natural radiance. And that's what we're being invited to on Shabbat, to embody that place of soul, that place of essence, Vishamru.
Vishamru Israel et HaShabbat, et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת, שבת וינפש. אדוני שפתי תפתח, אדוני שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך, ופי יגיד תהילתך. אדוני שפתי תפתח, אדוני שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך, ופי יגיד תהילתך.
A little bit later this evening, we're going to count the Omer, which is going to be this opportunity also to bring our attention to certain aspects of our own character, how we want to be in the world. And this today, the intention for the Omer is to look at how do we direct our attention? How do we make choices in ways that build relationship, that connect us in relationship? This week that we're in, this week of Gevurah, is all about decisions, choices, setting boundaries, saying yes to this and no to this. And where we choose to direct our attention is a function of Gevurah. So how do we direct our attention in a way that connects us, in a way that strengthens relationship? Every moment we have that opportunity to direct our attention in any given moment with any person or even on our own, in a way that connects us. So we're going to pray the Amidah, the first couple blessings together, and then we're going to have some silent time. And I invite you to hold the question on your heart: how do I direct my attention in this moment that allows me to feel more Amidah? So if you're able, please stand. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מהלה, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלה, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. You can continue silently.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם תשים לעולם תשים
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I want to share this beautiful excerpt from a quote from Rav Avram Yitzchak Kook, who says, "There are those who sing the song of their own lives and in themselves find full spiritual satisfaction. There are others who sing the song of their people. They leave the circle of individual selfhood because they find it without sufficient breadth. They attach themselves with a gentle love to the whole community of Israel. Together with her, they sing her songs. They feel grieved in her reflections and delight in her hopes. There are others who reach towards more distant realms and go beyond the boundary of Israel to sing the song of humankind. Their spirit extends to the wider vistas of humanity. They aspire towards higher perfection. From this source of life, they draw the subjects of meditation and study. Then there are those who rise towards higher horizons, linking themselves with all existence, with all God's creatures, with all worlds. They sing their song with all of them. Tradition says that those who sing a portion of a song each day are assured to share in the world to come. So you should all be singing with me." And then there are those who rise with all these songs in one ensemble. They are sounds of joy and gladness, sounds of jubilation and celebration, sounds of ecstasy and holiness. The song of the South, the song of the people, the song of humanity, the song of the world, all merge in them at all times, in every hour. Our stories, our legacy, are often elevated and brought to life through music and poetry, connecting generations and rooting us in memory. Music and poetry have always been critical expressions of the Jewish soul. We turn to them to provide inspiration and comfort, a powerful outlet for self-expression and resistance. We turn to the wellspring of these creations which tap into our collective memory, their power binding our Jewish spirits across time and space. Born of both deep heartache and immense joy and hope, artists have been prolific in their creations, inspired by the tumultuous existence of Israel and her people. Having recently celebrated Passover, using story and song to guide us through our transition from slavery to freedom, this time in our Jewish calendar moves us through the incredible resiliency of our people. The words in our Haggadah, Vehishe'amda, remind us that we are a people who have endured persecution throughout our history, with enemies in each generation seeking to wipe us out. Yesterday, as many of you know, we commemorated Yom HaShoah, a day we remember the 6 million Jews who perished in the Holocaust, leading us into Yom HaZikaron, Israel's Remembrance Day, dedicated to fallen soldiers and victims of terror. These days of mourning and memory, commemorated through song, bring us from darkness to light, from despair to hope, finally culminating with the celebration of our resilience and achievements in the historical establishment of the State of Israel in 1948, which we will celebrate together next week with Yom Ha'atzmaut, Israel's Independence Day. We have endured. We have thrived, and we continue to create and innovate and make the world a better place. Tonight, in honor of this time, I wanted to share a couple of pieces from some Israeli artists who have been a significant part of the rich musical heritage in Israel. The first piece I want to share is called Mishahu. It was performed at Yad Vashem in Israel for Yom HaShoah a few years ago, and I was moved to tears when I heard it. Ehud Manor, born in 1941, was an acclaimed Israeli lyricist, translator, poet, and radio and TV personality. Busy guy. He is widely considered to have been Israel's most prolific lyricist of all time. In 1998, he was awarded the Israel Prize for his exceptional contributions to Israeli music. Some of his most beautiful work came to be through collaborations with some of Israel's top artists like Mati Kaspi, another Israeli composer, musician, singer, arranger, and lyricist. Kaspi, who was born in 1949, is regarded as one of Israel's top pop musicians. The lyrics from Ehud Manor and this beautiful music by Mati Kaspi, the song says, Someone worries for me up there, came and lit a few stars, and they fall one by one. We are turning in two different ways, day and night to their length, tired and hungry and waiting for a sign in the paths of dust and time. We'll meet at the end of paths and questions. We'll meet at the end of many days, at the end of a lot of nights. I know that you too are getting close right now. The spring passed, the summer went, and the rain returned.
מישהו דואג לי שם למעלה, מבדליק כמה כוכבים והם נופלים אחד אחד. אנו סובבים בשתי דרכים שונות, יום ולילה לאורכם, עייפים ורעבים ומחכים לעוד בנתיבי אבק וזמן. אנו ניפגש בסוף דרכים ושאלות, ניפגש בתום ימים רבים, בתום הרבה לילות. אני יודעת שתקרב עכשיו אביב חלף, קיץ נאסף והגשם שם.
Song melts me every time. One more piece that I'd like to share, at least in part. Al Kol Eile, gorgeous song by Naomi Shemer. Born in 1930, she was hailed as the first lady of song and poetry in Israel. I love that title. Her songs still bringing communities together today. I grew up singing her songs at camp and at synagogue and in my choir. You may know her beautiful Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, Jerusalem of Gold, one of her most well-known. It was written in 1967 after Israel won the Six-Day War. And in 1983, Shemer received the Israel Prize for Hebrew Song for words and melody. This song, Al Kol Ele, written in 1980, reflects that without the darkness, there is no light. Without the bitter, we have no ability to recognize what is sweet. This song talks about accepting the bitter and the sweet, the sting with the honey, and asks God for protection over what the Jewish people have built in the land of Israel. Listen to this beautiful poetry. Over the honey and the bee sting, over the bitter and the sweet, over our baby girl, please guard my good God. Over the burning fire, over the crystal clear water, and over the man returning home from afar. Over all these things, please guard from me, my good God, over the honey and the bee sting, over the bitter and the sweet. Please don't uproot what's been planted. Don't forget the hope. Lead me home and I will return to the good land. Guard, my God, over this house, over the garden and the wall, from sorrow, sudden fear, and from war. Protect the little I have, the light and the infants, the fruit not yet ripened, and the ones that were picked. Over all these things, a tree rustles in the wind. In the distance, a star falls. The wishes of my heart in the darkness are being written now. Please guard all these things for me and over my beloved ones, over the quiet, the tears, and this song. If you know it, please, please, please sing with me.
על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתוק, על ביתנו התינוקת, שמורי לי הטוב, על האש המבוערת, על המים הזכים, על האיש השב הביתה מן המרחקים, על כל אלה, על כל אלה, שמור נא לי הטוב, על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתוק, על הטוב הכל בטוח, אל תשכח את התקווה, השיבני ואשובה אל הארץ הטובה.
Let's try Al Kol Ele.
על כל אלה, על כל אלה, שמור נא לי, שמור נא לי הטוב,
על הדבש,
על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתוק, על הטוב הכל בטוח, אל תשכח את התקווה, השיבני ואשובה אל הארץ הטובה.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Beautiful. This is getting us ready for Yom HaAtzmaut next week. Thank you, Cantor Young. So we now have the pleasure to count the Omer. And we do this just by saying the blessing together and then just counting the day. So want to invite you to join me. And again, our focus for today is how we set boundary to connect us deeper in relationship, how we direct our attention to connect us deeper in relationship. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Hayom 13 yom shehem shavua echad v'shisha yamim laomer. Today is the 13th day, making 1 week and 6 days of the Omer. We also come to our place of our healing blessing, Misha Berach, and want to invite you to put names in the chat of anybody that you would like to include in our healing circle for physical illness, mental illness, or addiction. And then we'll be able to direct our prayers with this simple line from Moses's prayer for his sister Miriam. We hope that you will join us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. To celebrate Shabbat, being led by our adult B'nai Mitzvah. And this is an incredible, will be an incredible experience of reminding us that we don't need a rabbi or a cantor to take hold of our own Jewish tradition and be leaders for each other in song, in meditation, in Torah. So please join us tomorrow. And our gala is coming up.
Woo woo!
40 years. Celebrate with us on May 1st. There's lots of wonderful surprises, lots and lots of work that has gone into making this a meaningful celebration of 40 plus years. Thank you to our gala chairs, Susan and Bev. Please check out all the details. Make sure to participate. Don't miss it. One of a kind opportunity. And finally, on April 20th, a week from Tuesday, will be our first Pathfinders program. And this is going to be an opportunity to connect a little bit deeper with our own relationship to Temple Bethel. Where is it that we want to grow? What is going to be meaningful to us? But even more importantly, to be able to hear the journeys of fellow congregants and really get a sense of how we're taking this incredible journey at our synagogue and community together. So you do need to pre-register. So you can do that online, and you'll get a Zoom link to be able to participate at 7 p.m. on April 20th. We're going to conclude our service with Aleinu. Please stand if you're able. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer reshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegoralenu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malkei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'emar Vahaya Adonai Lamelech kol haaretz Bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad Ushemo Ushemo echad. Mourner's Kaddish is, again, this Kaddish prayer, this prayer about holiness, about God's exaltedness that takes place with our connections to people we love, even when they're not with us. We're in the Shloshim period, the Shiva period for Janice Petty, the mother of our member Jeff Petty. We're also in the Shloshim period for Dan Sherman, the father of our member Deborah Whaley, and Lynn Krinsky, the mother of our member David Krinsky. We're also commemorating the following yahrzeit: Lois Eisenberg, Herman Elliott, Jacob Felsenfeld, Sidney Fisher, Mrs. Marilyn Miller, Goldsband, Marion Grousman, Elliot Guzovsky, Rose Harris, Nathaniel Harrison, Sarah Heskin, Nathan Hundert, Loretta Kirshner, Rebecca Clearsfeld, Herman Clearsfeld, Phyllis Kramer, Debbie Kuhn, Ronald Letterman, Kelly Lee, Hyman Levy, Richard Mitchell, Stan Parker, Francis Parnes, Adele Pizante, Samuel Reich, David Rosh Schoolman, Israel Shapiro, Mark Sloan, Ida Smolinsky, Herbert Smolinsky, Pearl Spector, Daniel Teichman, Miriam Weinberger, Cecile Wiener, David Williams, Shmuel Yehezkel, Samuel Yost, Judy Zadeh, Joseph Zimmerman. If you're saying for Kaddish for somebody whose name I haven't called, please feel free to put their name in the chat so that they can be included in the prayer. You may stand or sit according to your custom for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah ve'alma divrach yeruteh v'yamlich malchuteh v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael v'agala u'bizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'omei omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabbah min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom
If you haven't done this yet, I want to invite you to go grab a glass of wine, and we are going to join our B'nai Mitzvah class in reciting the Kiddush together. If you've already had a glass of wine, you can pour a second glass. All right. Thank you, Micah.
Amen. Beautiful. Okay, if you have some challah, go ahead and get your challah so we can say Hamotzi together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon, bon appetit, Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.